okay, what do you want from me? Do you want me to be skinny? Do you want me to be fat? Do you want me to be medium? What do you want from me? It's like you're never good enough.
At the same time, it's not like social media itself. I also feel like society and younger generations are so used to having everything like this, like quick fixes, if that makes sense.
My purpose is to give other women hope, give women an opportunity to renew their minds in how they view themselves and how they view their life, their environment, you know, their family, their friends.
But I want to understand, because I don't want to judge you and I don't want to judge people like you that fall for those campaigns.
I don't walk in my insecurities. I don't walk in the shame. I walk in it in boldness. You know, here I am, a woman with one breast, but I'm breathing. I'm smiling. I love my children. I have a husband that loves me unconditionally. I have so much beauty in my life that my physical appearance does not determine what beauty looks like.
I think what I want to really tell people right now is like the validation that the outside world is giving you is not what you should be looking for. Hey girls, do you know that only 4% of women see themselves as beauty as they are while they look at themselves
4%?
in the mirror? 4%. Yes. This is a study that the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services did.
We're fucked.
We are. Gigi's like,
Okay.
we are.
Keep it real, girl. Keep it real.
Yeah, it is shocking.
It's sad.
It is.
Yeah.
But to talk about this topic, we bring Gigi. I met you a couple times before this,
Correct.
a couple weeks, months ago,
Mhm.
and I was impressed with your story. I'm impressed with your story, Gigi. That's why I think you are perfect for this conversation. But tell the audience a little bit about who you are.
Okay. Well,
She's like, after
I know.
the shocking word per se.
Be yourself, girl. Be yourself. Yeah, so I am Gigi Santaler, and I am just a woman that have gone through different seasons of her life and have overcome so much. And I have a heart for those type of women that have been through different traumas and sickness, and those women that don't believe that they're good enough or beautiful enough. So just through, you know, my lifestyle, my connections, my testimony, I just want to be a voice for those women to give them hope and remind them of how worthy and how valuable they are. So I'm an advocate. I'm so many things. I don't know where to start.
We're women. We do it all.
Yeah, I
We
wear
do
so
it all,
many
yeah.
hats.
I know.
Yes, you are a mom. Your
Mhm.
background is in psychologist.
Yes.
You have a nonprofit. You are an
Yes.
advocate for breast cancer.
Yes.
You are an advocate. You serve the National Breast Cancer Foundation.
As an
Is where I
ambassador.
met you.
Yes.
And I'm amazed. But something that really got me last time I talked to you, you were like, do you notice something different on me? And I was like, you look so pretty. You had so pretty boots, like cowgirl
Aw.
boots that they I was like, your outfit, I,
I need
love
my
it.
boots, damn.
Oh, we're gonna have to go shopping before you
Yes.
leave. then.
Yeah. But you told me you just started
Mhm.
something different in
Mhm.
you. Can you tell us a little bit
Mhm.
what happened? What were you referring to that
Mhm.
day?
So for those that are watching, whether you noticed it or not, I have one breast, and it wasn't a choice to have one breast, but I took my power back by choosing to only wear one breast when I want to, and sometimes I don't. And that day that I met you, I wanted to really bring healing to myself and to really show in real time what it looks like what it looks like for some to overcome something so tragic, but walk in the beauty of it afterwards. So me wearing, just being this is it's so healing for me because it was very intimidating, very scary because people are so judgmental without knowing, hey, I literally had to fight for my life.
Yeah.
These breasts didn't mean anything when compared to whether I'm going to live or die.
Yeah, and I think that's a very impactful story. But you know what? I feel like a lot of people have those battles that are not even physical.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like a lot of people don't accept themselves for who they are,
Mm-hmm.
and they are perfect and they are beautiful and they are not missing any part of their
Mm-hmm.
bodies. But that's how powerful our mind can be, and how powerful also um or unconfidence, I don't know if that's a
Mm-hmm.
word, when you are not confident can destroy your life or impact your life. And we can talk about a lot of topics. Fer and I
Yeah.
were just talking about this
Yeah.
last night about plastic
Yeah.
surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just telling me, oh, if I do this and if I cut here and if, and I'm like, Fer, if you don't mention any of that, you are so pretty. Like I see you
Yeah.
and I'm like, Fer is so pretty, but everything is in your mind, like what you think
It's
is wrong with
right.
you.
And also like society. I feel like there are a lot of things that we see outside that it's like, this is how you're supposed to look. This is how, the perfect, like I was telling Anna, like this line here in my neck, it makes me uncomfortable. And it's like, I see
Tell
all
me if
these
you
Hollywood
noticed that,
stars.
Gigi. Did
What?
you notice the line in her neck
No.
until she say that?
Right. But
No.
then I see it in the mirror and I'm like, oh, I don't have like, this perfect lift on my like neck. And everybody in Hollywood is doing this now. So I kind of like, I want to look like that. So it's like, yeah, you keep seeing a lot of things on social media, TV, outside, everywhere of how you're supposed to look.
But you guys have noticed that it's more like all those marketing strategies and all that business behind, because that's a business.
Yeah.
Everything is mostly focused on women
Mhm.
and now kids, because we are the most vulnerable, right? Because I don't think men, and they have a lot of issues that we can discuss in another episode too, because yes, they go through a lot of things. I have two boys and my husband, I can see that they struggle too with a lot of things. But regarding the physical appearance, it's mostly with women and kids. And they are bombarding us everywhere that you gotta be skinnier, you have to be
Oh,
lighter
yeah.
skin, your hair can be curly. And I love your hair, Gigi. Or
Oh,
Fair, you
yeah.
used to have curly hair,
Yeah.
and look what happened. And you look pretty with straight hair too, but why
Right.
to feel like your hair was not pretty
Mhm.
enough
Mhm.
to change it? But I think for me it's very important to have that honest conversation when we look at ourselves on the mirror. Most of us are not too nice
Mm-hmm.
to
Oh no.
ourselves.
No, I mean, I can tell you, I'm not like the
Tell us, Fer.
nicest to myself. I'm always like, oh, this, like my eyes, and then the neck. And you start seeing like stuff like, oh, like this thing, what's it called? Like the facelift that everybody's doing on Hollywood. I'm like, I need that. I want to look like Lindsay Lohan and
No, you don't.
Hathaway. So I start thinking about like, okay, how much money do I need to do that? I'm 32. Should I do it? And then you have like all these little girls like going through surgeries, and then as Latinas, our moms are usually like, no, tú no necesitas eso, like you don't need that. And it's like all of these things, like, should I do it? Should I not? Do I need it? Do I not need this? Does it add like a certain value to myself? And it gets crazy over here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And especially to go back to your point about children, and I can speak for the Black community, right? As children, we grow up, our hair is too nappy, your skin is too dark. I can tell you all the body shaming that I have had throughout my life. And I have body shamed others. We're all guilty of that, right? But it's a grooming from childhood. So, in our community, we used to put relaxers in our hair to make our hair straighter, right? Um, you know, I'm I'm kind of brown skinned, But, there are young girls that want to be lighter, like you said, want to be light skinned, and it really does start in childhood. But that's because of these are generations that people have body shamed their children, versus now we're mothers. And when I see my daughter, I'm constantly reminding her how beautiful her hair is, because it's going to be enough people in the world to tell her how bad her hair is. So I remind her how beautiful her hair is, how beautiful her skin is, her weight. Like, it's our jobs as adults that know better now to edify younger people and not
Yes.
break them down so badly.
And it's so hard, Gigi, when you're fighting against monsters like media, for
Oh,
example.
yeah.
Like we are very selective on what we let our baby now watch on TV. Zane, who is 4, because I will say 85% of the content out there is damaging for kids in many ways, many messages, many different ideologies that are really, like you say, grooming. I couldn't find a better word, but it is true. It's all the adults that have issues that they grew up with and they were never able to heal, to work on, to heal, that they are passing those frustrations, those whatever you want to call it, into the kids. And
Exactly.
it's sad, and it's cultural too. For example, we coming from Mexico, um we come from a culture where our only job as women was to be pretty enough for our men.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a lot of pressure for us to look certain ways, to act certain ways, and to behave certain ways around men. Something I grew up with was like, I will never pick a man. I
Oh,
needed
yeah.
to wait sitting for a man to come and pick me. And simple things like dancing. We love dancing and parties, quinceañeras. And I remember, like, we all women were sitting on the table, like, you're sitting there waiting for a man to come to ask us to dance. And it sticks in your head to the point that when you are dating someone or when you are marrying someone, I could tell you that the first time I got married, I had no saying on that decision. And maybe I say, yes, I accept, but my brain was working in a completely different way that my brain is right now.
Because you didn't know any better. That's
Because I
what
thought,
you.
like, he chose me. My obligation now is to say yes. And so many things crossed in my mind at that point. It was like, because he's choosing me, that's the first thing. The second one is like, what if no one else asked me to marry him? Like, you see how we grow up with all those traumas or like messages in our brains that came from, like you say, Gigi, from generations that change our lives or impact our lives forever. And going back to the beauty or the standards, the way we look, I think we women have it really, really hard on being forced to fit in certain
Right.
boxes
I also
today.
feel like when we were in the UK recently, we went for a vacation. I was telling my boyfriend, like, oh, there are not a lot of options with like men's clothing. It's usually kind of like the same. It varies a little bit, it's like the same
Color.
styles. And for girls, it's like an entire floor with different clothing for women. And it's like, and I was thinking about it and I'm like, well, we also have to like have the latest wardrobe, like the latest, like trends and like fashion and look a certain way because cowboy boots are in, because high heels, because mini skirts, because light colors, yellow. This year was like a pale yellow. What was it called? Butter yellow. That was like butter yellow. That was the color of the summer. Butter yellow. And you have me there in the freaking store, like going there. I need a butter yellow, whatever, like a shirt or something, right? Because you want to like look
You want to be part of
nice and-
something.
right?
Yeah.
And be part of like, okay, so if this is the moda, like it's in, I'm gonna wear it.
But
And
you
it's-
see, like, they are targeting like younger
right?
women. They are targeting kids because they know that they are the ones that haven't fully matured. And scientifically, it's proof that you reach your maturity stage at 35 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So before 35 years old, we men and women are experimenting. We are trying to be part of something. We are trying to be accepted by ABC. We are not confident enough yet. Our brain is not mature enough to say, this is what I like, this is who I am, this is what I want. Until 35 and after, I can tell you, it hit me at 40. I know it was not even at 35. I'm 35, I was still trying to please everybody around me. And it got me a lot of problems, like mental problems, physical problems. At 40 is when I was like, today, I don't care what people think.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done.
I'm done. You know, but it took me so long, and everybody is different. But companies, organizations, political views, ideologies, they target who they know are the most sensitive and vulnerable people. And you know why? Because they make more money. And we saw that right now with Serena Williams, the tennis
tennis player.
player. So now she's promoting Ozempic,
Yeah.
right? She was always the image of the strong woman, the woman in sports. And now suddenly she wants to be skinny. She's losing weight and she's promoting Ozempic. Like you guys have no idea. But she's promoting that because her husband is part of the board of the company that sells
This drug.
Ozempic. And those things tell me like it's all business.
Is this weight loss?
It's a
It's a
Really?
weight loss.
Yeah, it's a GLP-1, I think.
It's so popular right now. Like almost like a lot of people are getting those treatments.
I don't
I've
follow
done it.
trends or celebrities. So.
I don't want to say who, but Fer did it. We had an episode
For
on
a
that.
year.
And you know what's crazy? What's so frustrating for me is growing up, everybody was like, oh, you're so skinny. Okay, what do you want from me? Do you want me to be skinny? Do you want me to be fat? Do you want me to be medium? What do you want from me? It's
Right.
like you're never good enough.
Exactly.
I didn't mean to get too loud.
No. Get loud because that is true.
Now people
Tell
want to be
them, girl.
skinny.
Tell them.
What do you want? You know? And you just get to a point where it's like, I don't care.
When
care.
when did you get to that point where you say I don't care anymore?
So not to say, let me correct myself. So I have and had insecurities, right? But some people, they take those insecurities and it keeps them from moving forward. It keeps them from enjoying life. You know, it debilitates them to a certain extent. So that's what I mean when I said I've never been affected by people's opinions or comments where I just want to shut myself in or not be seen. I never followed trends like you. No one could pressure me into doing something
But
that
not
I
like me.
Fer is like, but I'm the
I'm
other.
like hiding like,
oh, and that's not to shame anybody,
No.
right? You know?
Yeah.
But the way that my makeup is, I was never the type to do something that I did not want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, but when that place really came to, okay, this is something that I'm ashamed of, is when I went through breast cancer. Because that not only changed my physical state, it changed my mental state, my spiritual state, my emotional state, and I felt ugly as a whole. And it was something that I had no control over, right? So even when I had my surgeries, I was body shamed by doctors.
oh, wow.
You know, you're so young and, you know, just kind of putting that pressure on you to get a implant, afterwards, or removing both breasts, you know?
Really?
So there was so much pressure and so much going on when I didn't have a moment to just be and to breathe and to really take all that's coming towards me. You know, I lost all my hair, my eyebrows, I had bumps all over my face. My weight was fluctuating. There were so many changes physically that I didn't want to be seen. So I think that's when I really felt that this season is when I was like, you know what? I'm no longer going to hide behind what I've been through. I'm going to embrace it. And it's going to be not only freeing for me, but my prayer is that it's freeing for other people. Even if it's not, like you said, physical, but when people see me, they don't see what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? I don't walk in my insecurities. I don't walk in the shame. I walk in it in boldness. You know, here I am, a woman with one breast, but I'm breathing. I'm smiling. I love my children. I have a husband that loves me unconditionally. You know, I have so much beauty in my life that my physical appearance does not determine what beauty looks like.
I love it.
You know?
Yeah,
And I
that's so
think
powerful.
it is.
Yeah.
And I think what happened is that when we are in the moment, when we recognize that nothing around us is important, but who is next to us, our family, and also anything of the physical stuff around us is gonna change what you are going through. You know, like, and also I know that you are a believer as well as me. Is the moment that you accept that you are nothing, you have nothing, and you can go at any moment from this life. Is when you finally learn to see the beauty, the real beauty in this life, besides bigger chichis, bigger nachas, bigger
Nalgas.
whatever.
Chichis and what
And
was it?
nalgas.
Naga. See,
Yeah.
and I never had a
Yeah.
big naga. Did I say that? It sounded like I just
Nalga.
said the N word.
No,
Naga.
no. And if you say it's you, I know we wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, like
We can't.
like we can call Mexicanos like paisanos, whatever.
Right.
But you know, like this.
No,
Nalga.
Nalga.
Yeah.
Nalga. Yes, nalga.
Y'all gonna have people laughing at me.
Yeah, no, but I love it, Gigi. And I bet it's terrifying what you went through. It's hard. It's something like any woman should go through. And those are the things we should be focusing on, like
Exactly.
how to serve, how to support other women, how to inform them, how to provide resources instead of telling Fer like, oh, you should curl your hair. Or, you know, but those are the marketing campaigns that we
Right.
see everywhere.
Right. Exactly.
Selling us products that
Right.
are just
That
going
are
to
gonna
damage
solve
us
something
more.
or solve something.
But
and
why
like
do you
this.
fall for those, Fer? Like, how do you feel? Because honestly, like, I feel like Gigi and I are in a different stage in life. We are older than you two. We are mothers. Like, so we see the world in a different way.
Uh-huh.
And to be honest, I don't remember what I was thinking at 32.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to understand because I don't want to judge you and I don't want to judge people like you that fall for those campaigns.
It depends.
Because I don't know what's in your head and your heart that you are falling for that.
It depends. Because, like, for example, what, like Ozempic?
For Ozempic and the trending things and to fall.
There are certain things where, for example, like, there are certain type of shoes that can be, like, in right now, right? And if I don't like that, if I don't like them, I'm not gonna wear them, of course.
But do you feel the pressure to? No.
No. If we're talking about fashion, in terms of like fashion, butter yellow, I liked it. I was like, fine, okay. But for Ozempic, I honestly felt like nothing was working. I was thinking maybe I have something like hormonal going on, you know. Maybe it works because I've been trying to do exercise and nothing is working. And also, I do a lot of social media. Like, I consume a lot of social media. Okay. You know that. So,
and it's Anna's fault, per se, because I put Fer to work on social media.
No, but I mean, at the same time, it's not like social media itself. I also feel like society and younger generations are so used to having everything like this, like quick fixes, if that makes sense. And of course, like when you do exercise and eat well, the results you're not gonna see the results in a week. And with this drug, it worked fast. So I was like, I love this, you know, because it was giving me results.
So you tried it?
Yeah, for a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And this is the one with
Serena
Serena.
But this was before she got involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I met Fer before she tried that treatment, I swear, I never thought Fer was overweight or anything. I always see her like very pretty. You were curvy. You were like more, ¿cómo se dice? Fructuosa.
Right.
Like more.
Yeah, I'm not like skinny.
So
And
I
then,
never thought you will have that need,
Mhm.
right? But,
I
sorry,
have your-
amiga, that I'm going to tell you this, but you are very lazy for...
no, yeah, no, that's okay.
yeah, like you don't work out, you
Yeah, I'm
don't,
not the
and I'm not
best.
saying only you, like I was in the same
Mhm.
situation too, just 2 months ago. Um, eating habits, like your eating habits were no where they needed to be for those results that you wanted to
Right.
see.
Yeah.
So I feel like instead of providing to you like the ways that we're gonna help you like for a longer period, and we're
Right.
gonna impact not just your physical appearance but also the way you were feeling, because all that trash that we put into our bodies
Mhm.
is not just feeding your stomach, it's feeding your brain too.
No,
Like obesity has a lot to do with depression.
of course, but I mean to answer like your question more precisely and why, I mean, yes, of course. I've always my perception of beauty has always been like someone that's like skinny, because I did, and this goes like way back to when I was like 9 years old, because I did ballet for a long time, for the longest, for like 10 years. And of course, I'm like caderona, like I'm not like skinny, you know? And my teachers were like, you look heavy, you need to lose weight. So this kind of like stayed in my mind for since I was like a little girl. So I kind of like, I see it now and I'm like, okay, I still have that idea of beauty, you know? To me, someone that's like skinny, I'm like, everything looks so good on her. The clothing, all of that. And I'm not going to look like that. And I mean, at this point, I'm like, that's okay. But if you ask me, like, I'm going to tell you, like, if I'm going to choose somebody on a magazine, I'm going to tell you, oh, I like her. And it's usually the skinny one. And it's because of that. It goes like back to the exercise thing. It goes like back to when I was doing ballet, because I did ballet for so long that it got to a point where I felt like fat, even though I was not fat, and also like not valued. So after leaving ballet, I was like, you know what? Why should I exercise? Because they're not giving me any value. If that makes any exactly validation.
Interesting. And I think big companies, they want that. They love
Oh
that.
yeah,
They
of
love that
course,
because they are making money out of it. And we go back to plastic surgeries. Um, it's funny because the plastic surgeries keep going up, like more and more and more. And you
keep
are
getting more modern,
more modern, more advanced. Like,
Mhm.
like before it was just like breast and maybe they were injecting stuff in their butts. I don't even know the words, but
Mhm.
now it's lifting. Now it's
Mhm.
lips. Now it's
Oh yeah.
not just nose. It's so much. Like I didn't know that they can do their, like I'm 43. Of course, my eyes are
Getting
completely
droopy.
different.
Oh, the
Like I look
eyelid.
older. So they lift
Uh-huh.
the this cosa, ¿cómo se llama? Párpado.
The eyelid.
Ajá.
Mhm.
So, but you see, we never have enough. And I
Mhm.
was just telling Fer yesterday, I will focus on being healthy and have the energy to get ready for what's coming. Because let me tell you, Fer, once you have kids, and Gigi's not gonna let me lie. Once you have kids, the last thing you are thinking about is how loose your stomach is,
Uh-huh.
and how loose over there is because the baby comes out.
Everything.
Yes.
And
And
your breast, this one breast I have,
Uh-huh.
it can go down to here because I breastfed. So they're not, it's not lifted. I used to have, they were like this.
Well,
And you
how
take
is
your
it,
bra
like
off.
saggy? Or, yeah.
Yeah, just
Uh-huh.
saggy. And you just like, it is what it is,
Mhm.
I breastfed.
Yeah.
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 And imagine all those
Definitely.
women out there that don't have the money to go through surgeries or to get an Ozempic treatment, or so
Mhm.
they are suffering if they are consuming the social media message or they are consuming all that advertisement out there. They are suffering because
Mhm.
they think they are ugly, because they think they don't belong, because they think they don't look like those models that they put on. And let me tell you, up to 80% of people, not just younger generation, people in social
In
media,
general.
they use filters. So
Uh-huh.
80% of the content you see on social media has been filtered, has been picked. Obviously, we don't put the first photo we take because we
Of
look like
course.
this.
Yeah.
We put the best one, and
Mhm.
not just the best one in our eyes, but we
Mhm.
also filter the photo.
Yeah.
I do.
So
Oh, yeah, same.
you see like
Yeah.
how much lies are out, how many lies are out there. And a lot of people are basing their truth on those lies, and they are waiting for that validation from all those lies.
Exactly.
So it's destroying us.
Mhm.
And, like I am concerned about adults because, like any human needs to be validated, but they are attacking kids. And that's what I don't like. Oh, I was talking about the surgeries. Like they keep going up on, surgeries, but also was reading that the reversal, and help me, Gigi, if I don't say the words right, reversal surgeries keep going up too. So that means that a lot of women now, they want bigger boobs, but also a lot of women are removing their
Getting,
boobs.
yeah.
The
Because-
reductions.
Yes,
Right.
because then they are finding out that that's affecting their bodies. Something I knew from the start, like anything like it's not part of your body is gonna have consequences in the future, or you need to keep maintaining them, which also costs money, and not everybody can do that. And trends, like like for some time, like big boobs are in, there are trends and they keep moving, and then the flat ones are in. So what are you gonna keep doing, like putting in out just to become part of that? Is that where you are getting your validation from? It's a big problem.
Right.
It is a big problem.
And to go back to its mindset. So if our mindset is like for you, 9 years old, right? You were body shamed. For me as a child, body shame. We were, our mindset as we're developing, we're being told not in the words "you're not good enough," but that's what we translate it to. We're not good enough. Just the way we are. And to unlearn those ideas is very, very difficult in how we see ourselves.
Yeah. And I think what I really want to, like portray in this episode is like all the noise is going to be always there. Like it's not like because we're sitting here discussing these topics that like plastic surgeries are going to disappear, right? Because that's an industry, it's a business. I think what I want to really tell people right now is like the validation that the outside world is giving you is not what you should be looking for. And it took me a while, and I think the hardest point for me has been when I realized that no one outside cared about what I was going through, and it was nothing as like hard as what you went through, but like when I realized that no one was there for me, I was like, okay. And I was concerned about that person or what that person was thinking about me. Who really care about me at that moment were my family, my husband, my 2 babies. And you know what? My kid, he doesn't care how I look.
Right.
He sees who I am, and he sees how I love him and how I protect him and how hard I work for them. And my oldest son, Caleb, who is 60 now, he told me that many times. I remember he telling me, why do you put the mask on, makeup, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's not my mommy. And then when I had my face wash, he will be like, you are so pretty, mommy, when he was little. But we never listened to that. We
Of
listened to
course.
the
Outside noise.
idiot in my work that will tell me, oh, if you lose 5 more pounds, you will look perfect
Oh,
on
that's
TV.
right, because TV is
Yes.
another business. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And mine is gain 5 more pounds. You're too skinny. So it's like you can't win. You're either too big or you're too skinny. And I really just got to a point where if God created me in his image, right? God doesn't make mistakes. So if he created us all in his image, then I am fine just the way that I am. And if we can be good stewards of our mind and our body, then our perspective on beauty would change, you know? So my perspective is I can be who I was created to be and be comfortable in who God created me to be. And through that, just by being who I am, people see not just the physical beauty, but they see the internal beauty. So it's how do we define beauty, you know?
Exactly.
That makes a difference in how we define it. So if we just continue to define beauty as aesthetics, there's a lot of ugly people out here
Oh, yeah.
that are physically beautiful,
Gorgeous.
but they're so ugly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would rather be in my gym shoes, be with one breast, a little, what did we call this again?
Nalgas.
Nalgas. One chichi, and have
One
the
chichi.
personality
Yes.
that I have than, you know, all of the aesthetics, you know? Not to say, and this doesn't, and I know you don't mean this doesn't mean that we're not going to, you know, do our hair nicely and wear makeup and things like that. I mean, we're still women, but we don't have to put so much emphasis and so much pressure, unnecessary pressure to fit in or to please society.
Because society doesn't care about you.
They don't care.
So who is society? Like the neighbor, the friend, the one that trashes you on social media that
Right.
you don't even know in person? Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, like, and we
Mm-mm.
are focusing on that. And yes, I'm always been very against plastic surgeries, for example. And people ask me like all the time. I even had the chance to have endorsements when I was working on media, and they will pay me a lot of money. They offer me like free treatments. They will do whatever I wanted to get done. And I always say no. And you know what? Because in a very young age, I went through kidney surgeries. Are so painful. The treatments are so long and so painful and so devastating, and you look horrible, like physically, like you were saying, Gigi.
Yeah.
When you are in a bed of a hospital
Mm-hmm.
and you're fighting for your life, the last thing you are thinking is how your lashes are
Exactly.
looking.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
But for those out there, we don't need to get to that point
Right.
to love
Value.
ourselves the way we
Right.
are. Yeah, hopefully we can. And I wish we could do something for these people, these industries like plastic surgeries, like medication to lose weight, like all these things that are destroying us, to reverse that, like to let them know we don't want that anymore. Like we don't need that, you know, like so they can use their brains, because obviously it's very smart people. That's why they are making billions of money with that industry. Like use your energy, your tools, like we call it, Gigi, the skills God gave you for something good.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's hard. Like I'm a big dreamer, and I'm not gonna be able to change the world.
Mm-hmm.
But at least one person that can hear this and you know, like choose a different path.
And we can do a better job as women to edify each other. You know, when I walk into a room, there are times where women would just stare, turn their nose up.
Oh,
I grew
yeah.
up with women or girls saying, oh, she thinks she's all that. How? How do you know that I think that? Because I walked in, you know, and then when they get to know me, oh, we just love you. Yeah, I just never understood that, you know, versus when a woman walks in, I'm just gonna just compliment her. I love calling women queens. I intentionally do that. Hey, queen. And I'll let a woman know, whether it be her hair, her clothes, just throw out compliments. We don't have to be so nasty towards each other. If we lock arms with each other, we can make such a powerful difference in how we view beauty, how we view
100%.
ourselves, you know? Stop being so critical with each other. If you are overweight and if it's affecting your health, then sis, let's go walking. But just because you're a certain weight doesn't mean you're healthy, right? Let's edify each other and support each other. We can do a better job in that.
And it's not
100%.
too common to hear those comments. Like I saw Fair's face last night, because I kept telling her, it's because you are very pretty, Fair. Like you are naturally pretty. And her eyes were like, do I trust Anna, or do I like who is this crazy lady? Because I bet you don't hear compliments like that from another woman too often.
Right.
Like, I don't have a lot of friends like you saying, "Oh, you look very pretty today."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Mm-hmm.
don't have like a lot of people around me saying that,
Right.
and that makes people feel so good.
Mhm.
And are
Mhm.
no lies. I feel like every woman, like you have your uniqueness, you
Right.
know.
That is true.
Like
Yeah.
even if I say I'm my mi rayita, my line right
Mhm.
here, fair. Like I like when I see you, I see so many other things that the
Mhm.
last thing I
Not la
saw
rayita.
was
I
your
still don't
rayita.
see it. When you do that, I'm like, what is she doing? What does that mean? Cut. Let's cut the camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a lot to do together to
Mhm.
lift women together
To
and don't
unify.
destroy
Yeah.
yourselves the way we have been doing it because whatever X, Y excuse we want to put out there, you know, like background, like culture, like the way we were raised.
Mhm.
But now I don't think we're ignorant anymore. Like we had that excuse in the past, like we didn't know the effects those type of comments or judgmental environments were doing to women. We know now.
We know
Like
better.
there is
Mhm.
women like going like dying, literally dying on the beds getting plastic surgeries
Yeah.
because they think that's the way they need to look to be pretty and
Mhm.
to be valued.
Right.
So we need to stop that. And that's a big commitment because it's not easy. We pretty much are gonna go against our own culture, against our own life, because of our whole life we were like, oh, don't have pretty friends because then they are gonna get more attention
Oh
than you.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that's another one.
my
I've been
brothers
there.
told me that all the time, like, oh, I'm pretty sure you're looking for the chubbiest one, so you're the skinniest one in the group. And I'm like, I had no idea. Well,
Right.
Mhm.
like she's very cool, like she's my friend. But you see how those comments mold you forever. But I'm done with that.
We got to be done, and we have to be in agreement with that.
We have a commitment.
We have a
Yes.
commitment.
Sign it right now. Es más, las que están allá también, come and sign it. So I want to end this episode, Gigi, because I love your story, and I think you have so much to say, especially because you went through your journey, you overcame the very hard stage, but you didn't leave it in the past. You are using that story to help other women. You are an ambassador for the National Breast Cancer Foundation for a reason. But how do you get that strength battling with your own story?
Mhm. And it took some time. It took some time after being diagnosed because I didn't want to be known as just the woman, a woman with breast cancer. You know, um, it really took prayer. It took community, and it took some self reflection. You know, um, to get to the point where I am going to use what I've been through to give other people hope. So when I remove myself and I focus on the people around me that need to hear what I've been through, it becomes easier because I still deal with, insecurities. I still deal with the trauma of what I've been through. I'm still going through the process of accepting my new normal because this is not normal for me. This is a different version of me. But when I meet other women that have gone through breast cancer or any kind of trauma or any kind of sickness, I can see that version of me where you have lost yourself. So for me, it really took a posture of surrender to all that God has done for me and to say, okay, Lord, I didn't go through all of this in vain. What is my purpose? So, my purpose is to give other women hope, give women an opportunity um, to renew their minds in how they view themselves and how they view their life, their environment, their family, their friends. Um, it took some discipline. It took some discipline, and it took it took some time away from all the noise. Because there's so much noise when you're going through something, regardless of what it is. Everybody has an opinion, right? And when you really remove yourself and, just put yourself in a position of sanctification and prayer and just really learning who you are. And my way of learning who I was to go back to the one that created me, was God. And for me, it's Jesus. I want to be specific about that. For me, that's when there was no question. I'm here on this earth for a purpose, and I'm still breathing because there's more for me to do. So no, this journey was not pretty. People look at me and they, oh, you're just so pretty. Yeah, but the journey to get here was not pretty. And I want people to see that ugly side, to see the beauty, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know how the word, how people give the words of how God turns ashes into beauty. I live that, I live that.
Yeah, and it is possible. I think
it is absolutely possible.
What everybody needs to know. It is possible.
And it's accessible. This is for everybody. For everybody, no matter what culture you come from, what background, what size you are, it's for everybody. Beauty is for everybody. And everybody in their own right, in their own way, they're beautiful. I look at people as beautiful. And I teach my children, even our body, the world has perverted the body, right? Everything is just perverted. It's so nasty. No, our bodies are beautiful, just the way they are.
Yeah. And I just want to finish saying that we are so focused on our bodies in a wrong way.
Yeah.
That they need to look certain way. But we have a big issue in obesity, diabetes, so many other things that we are not focusing on and attacking and taking care of our body in the way it needs to be taken care of, which is exercising, eating better, like those good habits that are going to give you a longer, not just longer, but a healthier life.
Right.
And I think that's what I was telling you, for like focus on being healthy and being there, because what's coming is gonna shake you really hard, which is motherhood or menopause, or like if you don't want to have babies, like you're getting older and being able to get up of the couch, not having back pain. Yes,
exactly.
We have to prepare for that.
And it's a mindset shift, because if you don't have a healthy mindset, you're not going to be motivated to walk. You're not going to be motivated to eat differently. You have to change your mindset. You have to change the way you think. And like we said, if we can be more nurturing and edifying to each other, that can help shift mindsets.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we hope you watching this episode found something that is gonna start switching that in your life.
Exactly.
That you are beautiful, that you don't need that approval, that validation from the outside world.
Stop looking at social media trends.
Yeah. Just look at our pages.
Yeah.
Exactly. We don't push those ideas in our pages. So, but yeah, and if you need help, because also it's valid and it's important to say when we are not okay, when we are feeling ugly, physically and mentally, look for help. I think, and that help is not like more surgeries or more Ozempic or more clothes or more jewelry that you need to wear. That's another type of help that you are needing. It's mental support, mental health, and for people that are believers like Gigi and I, of course, is God. So we hope you like this conversation. Thank you so much for joining us, Gigi. You see, we did our best in English. Don't think we are this fluent all the time.
This time next year, I'm going to come in here and be speaking Espanol.
Eso es todo.
At least you know chichi and alga.
Chichi and nalga. Thank you so much, Gigi, and thank you so much for watching us and listening to us. Remember to subscribe, to like the video, to share it with someone you think needs to hear this message, and also subscribe, because Fer and I need the support from you.
Exactly. So follow us.
Social media, Fer.
Social media. ¿Cómo estamos en social media?
Rollos
de Mujeres Media, and then our website, www.rollosdemujeres.com.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.